did you take Lind? If that paints the proper picture. I'm trying to dig myself out of what was left behind in some unfortunate times.
That was not a joke. That was a gym owner with a 7-week-old baby at home telling me he is so tapped out on cash that he's asking if we accept Pocket Lint as payment. My name's Mackie and I'm CEO of Gym Members Now. Our agency was just valued at $6 million, and over the years we've generated our clients over $60 million in revenue. But having those big numbers doesn't help you when you're staring down a prospect who's burned out, skeptical of AI, and he's bleeding money. In this specific video, I'm going to be breaking down the reality of high-ticket sales. This isn't a highlight reel, this is a masterclass on how to navigate a conversation when the prospect has every reason to say no. Watch how I handle his "I have no money" objection, how I pivot around his hate for AI, and how I stop selling and start consulting to try to not only save his business, but get him back involved. Go ahead and grab your notes and let's dive in. As we dive through this video, again, you all, I will be showing you all the framework for my process, from starting with the intro, how we break the ice, going into the discovery, really trying to figure out what their issues are. That way we can come in to the solution, which would be transitioning into more of the pitch, checking in with the temperature, seeing how they feel about our solution and the process, pitching them the price, and then ultimately, finally closing that deal. Let's go ahead and dive on in.
All right. Doing well. Is it good? All right. How's your day going so far?
Not bad. You?
It's going all right. The allergies in Kentucky are spiking up on me, though. How about
Sorry to hear that.
right? That's where you guys are? How are the allergies up there?
I'm not too affected by them, so I really couldn't tell you.
This meeting is being recorded.
I have some clients that are just allergy magnets all year round, so it's hard to judge if it's good or bad.
Sure. Understood. We can dive on into things. Josh went ahead and caught me up to speed on your all's conversation, but go ahead.
So again, you all definitely try to figure out how to break the ice here. I always seem to default to the weather. If the weather's changing, if allergies, try to relate something to me to show that I'm a human. Other things you all can do as well is, if you see anything in the background, maybe you see a sports team poster, whatever it might be, any of those things that you can draw attention away from the idea of being on a sales call will help lighten the mood and then bring their guard down is the goal. So right now we're going to be going in the intro portion still here, and let's see where we go.
Tell me a little bit about what got you to get on the call with me today.
Josh, your appointment center just called me, so I figured I would take the call and just see what you're about.
Okay.
And we got a hot one in here today, people. This is a sales call that came from our cold calling team, meaning Josh, who's one of our team members, was cold calling different businesses in the fitness industry, got a hold of this gentleman and was able to set him on my calendar.
Wonderful. Why don't you go ahead and tell me the challenge right now, your location?
I honestly don't know.
Okay, so here we are in the diagnosing or the discovery step 2 phase. Right now we're trying to figure out what their situation is, get a little more information. Right now, he doesn't think he has any issues.
Okay. You're working with an agency currently right now, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And are you able to track what's coming in from them directly versus what might be?
And then again, you all, because Josh did set this appointment, again, he's a cold caller of ours. Any information you're hearing me reiterate that was not on our call initially is all of the triage notes that I gathered from Josh during his call with this gentleman. So just want to make that point clear too there.
Coming in organically through your website?
The website's controlled by corporate, because I am a franchise, and I don't believe they do such a hot job with it, so I kind of just discard any of those numbers. Currently, month to date, I'm sitting at 2 leads coming from their website.
Okay. And then with the marketing team right now, last 30 days, what were the total number of leads they generated for?
Last 30 days, it's probably somewhere sitting north of 50 plus. I don't recall since we changed over and I was looking at more recent numbers. So right now, month to date, we're sitting at about 26 leads.
Okay. And of those 26, are they all?
Because he didn't feel like he had a problem, there's no point for me to try and say, oh, so everything's going great. Maybe I could have done that. But right now I'm just diving straight into chunking down the numbers. So again, if we scroll back up here, you all, we're in the discovery phase of step 1. In this phase, we're trying to understand what's going on in their business. What are they currently doing? Where is the problem? And then label the problem and make sure that we tie that down. So right now we are in this little blue check for diagnosing of the problem. Right now, I'm getting a better idea on what exactly he's seeing for the numbers, whether those are coming from his website, the agency that he's currently working with, or from anything that corporate might be doing for him.
Scheduling and showing
No, it's been a rough month this far
in terms of the show rate.
in terms of just kind of communicating.
Okay. Communicating with the leads, you like getting in touch with them.
Getting them to respond to any kind of phone call, email, text message, any kind of correspondence or reach out.
Okay. And how many did you sign up in the last 30 days?
Total of 8.
Okay. And what's your all's front end offer that you're currently promoting?
It's a month trial for 125.
And then the back end offer, what are you trying to get them onto after the trial?
Depends on what their needs are. It starts about 150 a month.
Yeah. How many active clients do you all have now?
119.
All right. And how long have you been in business?
6 years.
Were you all at that 119 about this time last year?
No, we were still trying to get things over about 110.
Okay. So is this the most you've been at then in the past 6 years? Is that 119 mark?
We were about up 125, 126 at one point. Unfortunately, there were some setbacks and freezes and pregnancies and things like that.
Understood. Life happens, right?
Right.
Okay. And with the person that you're working with right now, how long have you been with that agency?
They've been marketing for me for the past 5 months. They've been selling for me for the past 3.
Okay. So they're also doing sales for you as well? All right. You're not looking to change or move from them at all?
Honestly, I'm considering going back to doing it all by myself.
And what's the catalyst for that?
I'm not seeing the ROI as I would expect it. I'd rather take that headache back on and utilize those funds elsewhere.
Okay. And how large is their investment with the current company you're with?
Just their services, marketing, and sales, $2,000 a month.
Okay. Was this a recent development? Is it just because of this slow month that you all have been having so far that's making you rethink the decision with them?
No, it's been a couple months coming.
Okay.
Okay, again, hear you all what I'm trying to do. This is, if you've watched any of my other videos, there was one of the first initial, or might even have been the second one. You know, I mentioned in the video that, and I'll drop a link in so you guys can watch that one, but I asked one question and that specific person opened up the floodgates and actively gave me all the information I needed. Right here in this call is a perfect opposite or something that you can compare to on what happens when people don't give you any information. So you're starting to hear me ask a few more questions to get him to answer and solidify what the issue might be. Right now, we're at the point where he's been paying $2,000 a month for this agency, and he's willing to take on the time investment, which we all know is the one commodity we don't get back. He's willing to do it because he's not seeing the ROI. And I believe what I should have done is probably dug into it a little bit more. I don't believe I go back, but we'll see. Fingers crossed.
And then I'm assuming they're handling all the nurturing for the leads they generate as well, if they're doing the sales?
Correct.
Okay. And they're doing the sales over the phone?
Via text, email, or on phone, yes.
Okay. And then just in terms of your all's operating and expenses right now, are you all in the green? Are you breaking even? Are you in the red?
Barely breaking even.
Okay. How long has that been going on?
Too long.
Okay. So have you been able to take home a paycheck at all in the 6 years you've been in business?
Let's just say I'd rather not have you laugh at my income.
Okay. So you're at the point right now where you're not exactly happy with the current agency you've been with, to the point where you're willing to take more of your time and efforts and put it towards the marketing systems and also the sales.
Right.
Okay. Do you have a pretty good sales team on staff, or is this going to be something where you'd handle every single sale?
I've done everything up to this beginning of this year.
Okay. All right. And then just in terms of some of your other processes right now, Josh mentioned you're handling the Google reviews. What does your process look like to generate reviews from your current members?
During about halfway through anyone's onboarding or trial membership, I do have a conversation with them, asking them how things are going. Usually when we pitch our memberships, and we just ask them if they have a friend that might be interested as well, if we've done a well enough job, and then I also ask them to leave a review. We do have a couple review touch points throughout the studio, and about once every 4 months.
Okay, so here you all again. The whole reason I'm showing you all this framework over here is because whenever you get into sales, if you're new to the channel or if you're somebody who's been in sales, we all know that if you go into a sales call without a script or at least a framework, you're shooting in the dark. And as you can see, I'm hitting on a lot of the main points, but there's a few things down here in the sub points that I might not be asking. Now, is that because maybe I thought, would it really have made a difference if I kept digging into him right now about how bad his situation is? I mean, he's already mentioned how bad his income is. He's mentioned that he's ready to take away the time, the investment of his time to make this work because he's not seeing that ROI. And it sounds like for the time that he's been in business, it's just never been really profitable. So he's made it pretty clear where he stands right now and how he feels about it. This is my mentality. And as you get better with sales, you might be able to pick up on, if I push more this way, is it going to be beneficial or is it actually going to be detrimental? So I just want to make that clear too as we go through. This is just more so for you all to see my thought process. And obviously you're not going to be textbook all the time, but you are seeing just what main points I'm touching on, diagnosing the problem, asking the questions to get to the bottom of what is the issue right now. Fact is that he's paying money for leads, not getting the leads in. He's also paying a team to do the sales. They're not getting the sales to make the ROI. So now we're going to be moving and transitioning over here to the doubt phase based on the pillars on how we structure our pitch and our offer. We're just trying to build up that pressure, continue to point out what he's not doing right and also what the agency's not.
It's about 3 times a year. We'll try to send out an email and message to my current active members asking for the same.
Okay. And with the agency you're working with right now, are you working with me?
No, none of those.
No, who are you working with? And did they do anything in terms of educating you on Google reviews and the importance of them?
No.
Okay. So this is the part where a lot of people, business owners,
in the building doubt phase too, you all, if you find that you're speaking to somebody who's either working with an agency, they're in contract with one, or they're having conversations with one, not only do you want to build doubt on their process, the client that you're speaking to specifically, but you also want to build doubt again on that agency that they're either working with or that they're thinking about working with, so you can continue to outline and point out how you're different from a competitor of yours.
They think that if you have a 5-star average rating or if you've got 50+ reviews, then you're okay. And Google,
no, you need them ongoing. Otherwise, they determine you as a frozen or closed business. You need to have them trickling in over time. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way in terms of reviews.
Okay. Do you think that's a systems thing? Meaning you all have your approach and it's maybe not the most effective way?
No, it's a clientele thing. The same clients would love to give another review, but the system will no longer allow it. Will no longer even let you update to past a certain point.
Right. Yeah. I'll do 1 review per email.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you try to generate referral leads, do you have a process to generate referral leads at all?
I offer anyone that is on a trial, their friend gets a 2-week free trial, or they get the same trial that they did. And then if their friend,
something I should have done right there, you all too, on the reviews, like I just moved on to the next pillar because he basically said it wasn't working, is what would you like to see for the reviews? Like if you got 5 reviews a month, would that be good for you? Yeah, that would be. Okay. And what do you think that would do to your business if you were to maintain 5 reviews a month? Right? Like I didn't get him, we labeled it as a problem. Like, oh yes, the clients, they can't leave another review. Well, okay, now we need to get him to actually confirm if he was getting reviews, what would the impact be to your business? Right? Is it positive? You don't care? I don't know. What would it do? That would have been something that would have been very valuable here. We'll see if I go back and touch on that in the close.
signs up, they get credit toward their VIP membership program.
Okay. And are you tracking that as well to see how it's performing in terms of your referrals?
Yes.
Okay. What would you say that's generating for you on average?
Maybe 2 a month.
Okay. It's not bad. All right. And then with your database right now, what does the franchise require you all to use? Are you using contacts you have in that database?
Overall,
Excuse me.
1,700.
Okay. Are you all doing anything right now to currently remarket to them?
The leads will get, I want to say 9 emails, 8-9 emails a month. Anyone that does poke their head up gets put back into a more intensive reach out, a couple extra emails, more text messaging. Past members will get offers about 2 times a year.
Okay. But it's all through email?
Primarily, we, depending on the offer, we will send out text message, things like that. Yeah.
Okay. And they're all just basic workflows with time delays or intent-based responses?
Yeah.
Okay. And then with the paid ads right now, with what they're running for you, have they ever utilized your own content, or are they always using those stock images?
No, they've been sourcing my own photos on a regular basis.
Okay. Because let me know if this is the correct.
That is
also a good thing. I love Zoom, you all. It's a great tool because you've got all these visual aids you can use. So this specific case, if you're ever talking to somebody that is working with an agency and you know marketing, you got to go into that ad library and tear it the fuck up if you can, because this is where you're going to be able to say, this is what they're doing wrong. This is what they're doing wrong. Why are they doing this? Why would they do that? Yada, yada, yada. And just keep saying, wow, how could you fuck up and pick that person?
Okay.
So there's 3 or 4 of those pictures that are actually mine. The other ones are not.
Yeah, so just looking at these real quick, Mike, these, in my experience with the data that we have, these types of images have never really worked the best because they just look like stock images with some content on them, wording. The content that always works the best is actual images or videos of people training in your facility. Right. So, I mean, are you saying like these images in the background are your actual people, or?
Those are my clients.
Okay. And then with their sales process that they have, what is their sales closing percentage been? I mean, through phone calls and text.
I don't recall off the top of my head, but it hasn't been enough. That's for sure.
Okay. And then when it comes to working, I mean, are they doing any sort of consulting with you in terms of optimizing the business on all ends, whether it's sales training, if it's different types of offers or anything of that nature?
They make available multiple offers throughout the quarter that I can choose from to use theirs, or if I want to use one of mine.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else we didn't touch on? Be important for me to understand the situation you're currently in right now.
Not that I can think of.
Okay. And where would you like to see your gym at in the next 3 to 6 months?
At least breaking.
Okay, so here you all, just to recap a little bit on these questions here. We already earlier in the conversation, we did not talk about how they determine their ad spend, but we did talk about how they're following up with the leads. He's got the agency he works with nurtures the leads for him, and then about 3 months ago they also started selling them. So that's how he tried to improve his close rate. And then I did not ask this question at all about leveraging AI. So now we're going to be going into the goals section, trying to identify where he would like his business to be.
145 members active.
Okay. And with your current trajectory, do you feel that that's attainable?
No.
Okay. And then personally for you, if you're at that 150 plus member per monthly, what would that do for you?
Buy the gym a little more time.
What does that mean? Buy the gym a little more time?
It's getting to the closing time.
When does your contract end up? Okay, so is your mindset right now, I need to bust this out for the next 4 years and then either sell it or you're not going to renew?
If it makes it that far.
Okay, so you're in a little bit of a pickle then, it sounds like.
No, just frustrated, burnt out, and I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think we'd be a good fit for you, just to take some of this stuff off your plate. It wouldn't be ideal, it sounds like, for you to get rid of that agency and then spend your time.
So again, here you all, I didn't dive too much into it. At this point, this guy's, I mean, he just said it. He's burnt out, done, tired. He's ready to call it quits. So he's, again, I don't believe if I had dove in into much of this, if that really would have been valuable. Maybe it could have been. We'll see what happens here.
And devoted on marketing and then the sales, because that's probably not why you started this gym, right?
No, but I had no problem doing it, and I see myself doing just as good of a job as a paid company.
Sure, understood. Well, again, like Josh mentioned, as a company, we have 127 locations throughout the United States, and everything that we've developed that we give to our clients, first developed at our clubs, then we roll it out to the clients. So for you specifically, what it's really going to come down to is based off of what you've shared with me so far on this call, and ultimately where you'd like to go, and that comes down to 5 main things. The very first thing is optimizing your Google review system. Right now, you've been doing the old school approach, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. You're asking people, you've got a sequence at which point you ask them after they've been a member. There is a more proven system that we've developed. The way it works with us is that all of our clubs and our clients run a quarterly raffle. That quarterly raffle is a chance for one of your members to win a month of class training for free. So in any given calendar year, you're giving away 4 months to 4 different clients. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So the way that this works is that we would start with your current member base that you have, and then at the end of each month, we would get a usage report from you that shows any new person that came to the gym. They'll then go through that system. The first message that the AI reaches out to is, hey, we value our client's experience. How's yours been so far on a scale of 1 to 5? Anyone that responds back with a 5, the AI immediately reaches back out to them with a link to your Google My Business page. They click that link, select the stars, and leave a nice review. Our system also replies to the reviews for you. That way you don't have to and don't let anyone fall through the cracks. And then on top of that, we also post every review we generate for you on your Facebook business page and your Instagram business page to give you more visibility and awareness, but more importantly, proof of concept on your all service. Okay? For every person that leaves a review, and this system, by the way, crown hands free from you and the team. So it's no extra additional time on your end. It'll be working for you. For every person that leaves a review, the AI reaches back out to them. Hey, wonderful words. By the way, if you have any friends or family that would like to come in for a class, go ahead and text them this link. For every person that opts in under your name, we'll make sure to put your name in that raffle again. So we're also tapping into these people that are happy with your service, giving them an easy link that they can then blast out to their network, hopes that they get their name into that raffle, at which point you would get notified via email. Hey, Mackie just referred Tom. Here's their contact information.
Mhm.
All right. On another level, this also becomes an accountability and a retention tool for you, meaning anybody that responds to that first message with 1, 2, 3, or 4, the AI will not direct them to Google. Instead, it will say, we're sorry to hear about your experience. How can we turn that 2 into a 5? And it opens up the door for them to give you some constructive feedback, whether it's regarding a trainer, if it's regarding the facility, and then at which point you can address them accordingly. Okay. The reason it's an accountability tool is because now your team of trainers and staff now know every person that comes in will go through the system. They better be doing a great job.
Mhm.
Right. The second thing, piece right there.
No, I'm familiar with that process. I had the company do that for me for 2 months.
And then what changed after the 2 months?
They guaranteed me a certain amount of reviews, and I didn't even get half of it, so I just parted ways.
Got it. Understood. The second piece of what we would do for your base and give it a more effective strategy to reach out to them. So whether we come up with a transformation style offer, the fact of the matter is that we'll plug that database into our AI. It'll reach out via text. Whenever those leads decide to respond and have that conversation, the AI will be there to bridge that 5-minute gap and continue that conversation with the lead to find out what their reasons for coming in are, get them to schedule and escort them through the door.
Yeah.
Okay. The third thing is going to come down to the paid ads. This is a area that we excel at. Again, we do it with all of our
So
clients.
one of the things to you all that I always was trained on when I first got into sales, and then also what I helped train my team on, is that you need to match the tone by one level above where your client's at. And so for this specific person, if you watch my other videos, you can kind of see my personality or the tonality, my energy reflect a little bit of what they're seeing. So for this guy, in the pitch area that we're in right now, I'm extremely direct, short, and to the point, because this gentleman happens to be the same thing. Right now, he just wants the raw information. He knows his issues. What is it that we can do that's different?
And also our clients. The strategy that we've implemented matrix. And all that means is that we segment our campaigns from men and women in 5 different age groups. Men in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60 and above. The reason we do that is because we want to make sure that women in their 60s are seeing women in the photos that are in their 60s. The same thing for men. We don't want the 20-year-old men seeing some 45-year-old guy in the ads. We can be much more strategic and targeted with how the campaigns are being sent out, but also how they're able to be absorbed from those people. Does that make sense? Yeah. Our team is also checking the ads 3 times a day for you, morning, afternoon, and evening. They're not only swapping different things out, whether it's the headline, the description, creative, or copy, they're also paying attention to your availability. Because your marketing team is from the time someone sees the ad to the time they walk in, should occur within a 72-hour window. Meaning if we run the ads for you and your schedule's booked out for the rest of this week, it doesn't make sense for us to keep the ads running and spending your money if people can't book until next Tuesday.
Okay.
All right. With that being said, the AI nurturing will also be into play here, meaning every single lead that we generate for you will be picked up on with the AI. In the event that they don't schedule a time, the AI will try to schedule them. If they do schedule a time through the ads, the AI will be there to remind them and nurture them through the door. Okay. For every market, since they are different, we don't just tell you, hey, you need to spend X amount of dollars on ad spends each month. Instead, we do what's called a 7-day market test. That's where we take $500. We might not spend it over the course of 7 days. What we're trying to see is collect data on how our ad campaigns are being responded to, and then what we need to spend per day to book you out for that week. Once we get that data, we'll come back to you. Option A or option B would be the ideal monthly ad spend to get the results you're looking for. How does that sound to you?
Out of range.
Where was that? Sorry?
Out of range.
You mean in terms of money?
Yes.
The $500 for 1 week?
Yeah.
That's
For 1 week, correct.
you said it's out of range.
I don't have that money to spend.
Okay. And that's how you're willing to reverse
Hit me
going back
with
to
the
what you think you
objection.
could do then.
Part of it.
So that's not in the cards for you is what you're saying.
No, not in 1 week. That's more of nearly a month's worth of ad revenue.
That's what you're spending on ads right now is $500 a month.
About 600, 650.
Again, with the market test and all of it, the whole idea.
I understand that. You're being open honest with me. I'm giving you the cards just as they're played. So
Yeah, absolutely. The last thing that we would include with this side of coaching, the reason we pair you up with a coach is because for this to be mutually beneficial, we have to have that open line of communication. Otherwise, it's not going to be mutually beneficial.
Mhm.
Coach's primary role is to make sure you have all the tools and resources when it comes to sales training or even just business as a whole. Their job is to make sure they can give you their perspective and outlook on it because they're both multi-club owners themselves and have been able to scale to a level that has made them successful enough to come and work for us now.
Okay.
All right. Just in terms of the process right there.
it seems good. The dollar sign is going to be. I have a feeling this is not going to work out.
Yeah, thank you for getting on the call. The whole purpose of this is for me to try and educate you if there's anything I can do that on, and then to hopefully get things turned around for you. The way that it works with us is we're no long-term agreements. It's month to month because we don't want to have, it has to be mutually beneficial again.
Right.
We're very much a partnership. We're getting in the trenches here with you, making sure we can turn things around. But there's so many different variables that have to be ironed down for everything to work, right?
I understand that completely.
So the initial investment, if you wanted to get started with us, the way it would work is I'd send over the agreement. It's a one-page agreement. If you have any questions, I'd be able to answer them on the call. We'd then process the payment and get things started for you as soon as possible.
Mhm.
The first 30 days us until after you go through the onboarding, meet with the coach, and then you'll schedule a start date for the campaigns. That would be the first 30 days of that would begin, right?
Okay.
So the initial investment to take you from where you're at right now, to maybe turning things around for you to where you're not feeling so burnt out and like this wasn't a great idea, is $1,500 a month plus the ad spend.
Okay.
And that includes everything that we spoke about, from the reviews, the referral system with feedback, to any reactivation campaigns you would like powered through the AI, and then the complete and takeover from the ad campaigns, meaning you wouldn't have to touch them, do anything with them. We'll test, optimize, and generate those leads for you.
Okay. So see what I'm getting right now, except the sales team.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. That's something I could at least say I can consider and feel out whether I'm willing to make that kind of a jump.
Absolutely. And the one thing I will say too, and you're probably aware of this as well, you understand the frequency of reviews is important. That's equally as important to have, because it's going to impact the performance of your ad campaigns as well.
Mhm.
One of the pieces that we do is just by posting those to your Facebook and Instagram, it's giving you extra bonus content. It's also increasing the likelihood that somebody who signs in on the ad might see your Instagram page or your Facebook page and see one of those reviews that resonates with them.
Okay. Now what platforms do you normally run your program on?
Yeah, so we have a white label version of Go High Level that we've connected OpenAI to via Zapier. That's the main tool you would get. So you would get a sub account with us. Are you familiar with Go High Level?
The franchise just opened up the accounts for us, so I've been learning as I go. And I am familiar with Zapier, as I have used it to tie in my Facebook with my my club management software.
Yeah, so the reason we do that is because, one, it gives you an isolated account, the work we're doing for you in terms of reviews generated, how many referral leads that you get, feedback forms, what was the return that you made on your reactivation campaigns, what's the return you've made on your paid ad campaigns. All of that, we've set up the tracking for you. That way you accurately see everything. But the other reason we did it this way is because there's too many CRMs out there. If we had taken the time to integrate what we developed in every single one, it would have taken us years. Whereas
That I understand. There are little hooks and twists that I've tried to put together that I wish were just in my operating software. I do understand that. The reason why I ask about what platforms you operate on is I do not have a Google advertising account.
you don't need one. You have a Google My Business profile, and that's all we would need to have access to.
Okay, well, Google lied to me again. Very good.
Okay, so what did Google tell you?
Well, Google tried telling me that in order to run the ads, I need to set up a Google advertising account. And because of their requirements, I don't agree with them at all. So I do not participate in Google advertising.
Yeah, I don't recommend Google advertising at all. Businesses like you're in and that we're in, because if people are looking for a gym, they're going to find you, or they're going to look you up anyways. And I don't know if you're anything like me, see the sponsored ads on Google, I never click on them. I always scroll down and go to the other ones. If you're a big multinational company, Google advertising makes sense. But for mom and pop service-based ones, the amount of money you have to invest for Google just doesn't make sense for what you get in return.
Well, I had a feeling about that, but they wanted my personal information to verify my company, in which point they said, no, you're not getting my data.
Yeah.
So now you say you have gyms all over. Are you familiar with?
So are you all a part of Expo?
I'm not familiar with Expo.
Okay, Exponential Brands. It's either, there must be.
Okay. So because a lot of the people that I do talk to are just more in the space of working with big box gyms.
No, we have clients that they range from, we have pull and aerial fitness clients to Pilates yoga to boutique one-on-one training studios to big box gyms. I mean, we've got our hands in everything, even boxing, like boxing fitness. So
right.
The heart of what we do and what we've dialed in, not only the marketing side, but the nurturing that comes with the marketing, comes with the coaching of the sales, all of that stuff is the framework that brings the success no matter what the style of gym it is, right? It's just those, if you have those things dialed in, they all work. If you have the marketing dialed in, but not the nurturing, the marketing is going to seem off. If you have the marketing and the nurturing down, but you're not making revenue, maybe there's a sales issue, right? So there's all these different tiers to the wheel that have to be ironed out in order for everything to work fluidly.
Believe me, that I understand. I'm not doubting your confidence in the process.
No.
I'm told the company's emails are gangbusters and have high open rates. Okay, what's your open rate? Oh, 48%. Oh, that's fantastic. Mine's 12. Are you using our emails? Yes, I am. So that's the reason why I ask. I don't want to waste anyone's time in like, oh no, we really haven't worked with a group training studio at all. And then it seems like New York, in particular Long Island, where I'm located, has been a challenge for the company I'm working with, where they do very, very, very well.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of success with the group style training. I mean, some of our clients in the gangbusters right now.
Okay.
With the class style, and they do a lot of like class style training. So they only have, they got most 12 to a class. But we have another client who's doing very well, and they do the, so similar to what you guys are doing, where it's like an hour's worth of a workout within 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
But yeah, so we work with a lot of different people, not just giant membership based open style gyms.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, so you talk right now. What are your thoughts?
Not a big fan of AI. I wanted to take this call just to give you the opportunity to hear out what you can do. And I do appreciate your time. I'm not trying to blow you off.
Oh.
Um,
I appreciate the feedback, honestly. So
yeah, I'm more of a employ someone to give the hand feel kind of guy. I'm willing to try AI to see if it works. That's why, like, again, I'm even on this call. 1500 doesn't seem terrible, although I no longer have someone that does the sales. The only concern after that is the required ad spend. As you had said, you do require 500 for that. That's an entire month for me. And I understand you may not use it the entire thing, but if you end up doing it, that's my entire month right there. It's not well, you need to invest in order to grow. It's okay. Do you take Lind?
I do not.
If that paints the proper picture. I'm trying to dig myself out of what was left behind in some unfortunate times. So it's something I'm thinking about. I'm trying to roll over in my mind I am interested. I just haven't made that decision at the current moment.
Understood. Well, let's do this then. For my personal number, that way you have my direct line, and we can schedule a follow-up call tomorrow just to see where you're at. If you're thinking, you're going to handle everything on your own, that's totally fine. Best of luck. And if you decide to give us a shot again, we'll be here still. Mm-hmm. But we can plan on touching base again tomorrow, and either all systems go or on the back burners. How does that sound?
All right.
What time works for you tomorrow?
That's the thing. Tomorrow's just kind of up in the air.
All right.
I have. Thank you. It's pretty wild. I've been getting the same sleep I've been getting since I opened. None.
Okay. Well, let's do this. On touching base Monday.
That'd be fair, and that's fair enough. Hold on one second.
Yeah, take your time. You all have a pretty decent winter this year?
If you mean by that I didn't have to shovel myself out 7 times, then yes, I would have taken this winter over many I've had in the past. How about you?
We had probably the craziest winter in Kentucky than I've had in a long time, probably since like middle school.
Okay. All right. Would 10 a.m. Eastern time work?
Sure.
Okay. So let's set it for 10 a.m. Eastern on Monday.
All right. And the email I've got for you.
Yep, definitely is.
So it looks like this is going to be a 2-call close, you all. The reason I was a little more direct and didn't push in for the sale here is, again, because this guy is very direct. He's probably, if I had pushed to make the sale on this, probably could have lost the sale. And not giving it, but I still took control, right? So instead of him saying, well, let's schedule a follow-up, I went ahead and jumped in and said, all right, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. Let's book another time. You think on this. Best of luck to you if you don't want to. Best case scenario, you decide yes, and let's push forward.
Congratulations, man. First relationship.
Yes.
I've got a buddy who just probably actually pretty similar to you about 6 or 7 weeks ago. And I dropped some food off for them. I was like, so how you sleeping? He goes, what are you talking about?
A lot of people ask that question, and in all honesty, it's the same, just because of the panic attacks, the stress. This is running normally for me.
All right, brother. Well, I definitely hope we can work together and turn things around for you here and give you something to fall back on, especially with. But it was great talking with you. Your bluntness and all seriousness. It helps with me to truly know where you're at and if there is something we can do. But I appreciate your candor and hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll touch base with you on Monday.
You too. Thank you for your time. I do appreciate it.
Yep. Have a good one, sir.
This meeting is being recorded.
Morning so far.
Really good. How you doing?
Doing well. I didn't know we went to the same barber. Love.
At a certain time, you just got to call it quits.
Yeah. Plus, we're more hydro and aerodynamic, right?
Exactly. Better running.
That's right. All right, brother. Well, I know that we had a pretty close conversation last week, so I just wanted to touch base with you and see where you're at. Of course, we'd love to help turn things around for you all. However, I know that you are feeling it in the position that you're in, especially with some of these other agencies you've worked with that have dropped the ball on you. It's I have these conversations more often than I'd like to. So
Gotcha. Well, I definitely want to give you an opportunity to see what your company can do for me and my gym. So I'm definitely going to sign on. The only hiccup at the moment is I need to confirm what the exit strategy is for the company I'm working with.
So again, you all, this could be just experience after the years of doing this, that you start to develop an instinct maybe, or like a spider sense. Again, it's a 50-50 thing. If I had pushed and tried to get him to make that sale, I believe this call was probably on a Friday, which is why we pushed to Monday or Tuesday the next week for our call. If I had really tried to push and get the sale that day, could that have been something that turned him off or turned him away from us? And instead, what I did is took control over the conversation based on how his tone and perception was of the call, and basically said, let's go ahead and schedule a follow-up next week. You sit on this, think about it. Worst case scenario, you decide to do everything on your own, and I wish you the best of luck. We will still be here when you make that decision to work with us. Best case scenario, you decide yes, we get you set up for onboarding, turn things around for you.
Recall offhand. I mean, I also am friendly with the owner on a higher level than most. So I don't know if he's going to graciously just allow me to disembark or if he's going to hold his company policy. I'm not judging him either way, but yes, processes, I get it. So I'm not sure if it's a 30-day thing. I know you said 30 days. It was more onboarding. It wasn't necessarily charged. So if there's an, kind of crossover overlap, I'm good with that. I just want to ensure like, whatever I'm paying them, the funds just kind of shift hands. The double charge is not something we're going to be able to sustain. So
Absolutely. So what we could do, $100 down and then start the onboarding process, at which point we'll get connected to your all systems. We'll game plan with what the ad campaigns and everything will look like. That way we're all on the same page. And until you hear back from your current agency, we'll just collect the remainder, launch the campaigns.
understood. And I appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we can have to do that.
All right. Okay. So what I'll do then is I'll send over the agreement to the email I have on file, and then we'll collect $100 and then we'll schedule the onboarding and then try to have the conversation with your current agency, right? Before the onboarding. That way.
No, I'm going to be reaching out to them today. They're based out of.
Yep. So right there, you all, if you cut in the beginning, we're not collecting the entire amount right now just because he doesn't want to have the double payments coming out with his current agency. And so we were able to future pace. What would the setup be? That way we can at least collect something, get his commitment, and start the onboarding process. That way when he is ready to completely leave the other agency, we can then collect the remaining amount and finally start the actual work.
I haven't heard anything back yet.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, bear with me while I pull some of this information for you.
This is also something you all there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing in the back end right now. I'm pulling up the agreements, putting it through DocuSign, sending it to the right email. I've got my onboarding form filled out or pulled up as well. And then we've also got the billing processor that we use. That way I can get all of these out. So one of the tools you need to know how to do during this is don't look busy and then also be able to have small talk. That way it's not just dead silence.
Eventful weekend though, or nothing too crazy?
Nothing too crazy, just the usual family for Easter kind of thing. That's really about it. So enjoy yourself.
Yeah, same thing. Had a nice brunch with my mother. A lot of the places down here got hit pretty heavy with the flood.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of cool to see that, all the community, whenever there's something like that, they pull together. And there's been some makeshift like lunch areas where you could go and have lunch, but.
All right, people making do that. That's good to hear. I know it's not easy, but it's good to hear that.
Yeah.
People are still trying to figure it out.
People, they still have a little bit of human nature with them, right?
Yeah. So just out of curiosity.
Yep. So the onboarding, once you go through that, first thing first is going to be getting connected to your Facebook business page. That way we can run the ads from your profile. Getting connected to your Google My Business profile so we can upgrade the reviews. And then if you have any list of your active members and then a list of the reactivation we can do as well, we'd be able to pull that.
Okay. You have I guess how-tos.
Yeah. So you'll get welcome emails with us. Business assessment form. Please fill that out before the onboarding. And then there should be a few links with tutorials on how to get that information that we need from you. And then that's the thing that takes a little bit longer. Some clients, they might not have the email that has the connection point. So we have to figure out some workarounds there, especially if, they took over from another business or things like that.
No, I'm usually pretty good on it, but I'm just not sure how you go about your labeling, tagging. And again, I'm still kind of learning the Go high level system.
Yeah. So that's why when you give us your list, if there's any filtering you can do on your end, well, if you have people that came in on a specific promotion that you were running and that's what they did, we could add a little more personalization if you had that already filtered in your database. If not, it's not that big of a deal. That is a best practice. If you've already got everyone organized in a specific way, that helps us be a little more targeted in how we reach out.
Okay. I mean, I'll see what I can do. I'm sure there's something I could figure out, but let me see.
Yeah. Like I said, if not, that's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world there.
Okay.
File for you is a good one to send the agreement to.
Yes.
I love the two-factor authentications for every platform we have nowadays.
Oh, believe me, I know. It's I want to say it's a good thing, but at the same time, it's just like, oh my gosh.
Well, if people would put their energy towards doing good things instead of all this negative BS that they're doing, it would be a little bit easier.
That's a whole nother level.
Yeah, a whole nother level. That should be coming to you like through DocuSign there.
Okay. She's a
Yeah, so good medium size.
I guess she's considered medium. I had a Doberman before, so
How was that? I always wanted one.
in my opinion, that is a dog. So she's a tiny dog to me.
Yeah, I've got wiener dogs. I think this is my last one. This is the first one I've had that had to have the IVPD surgery. He's only 6 years old, but
Oh my gosh.
he had a ruptured disc, and it was a character building experience, Mike, to say the least.
No, I know my My Doberman was diagnosed with cancer. Then he had a couple other issues. So yeah,
It's definitely something that's out there for us. Go ahead and read through that. Let me know if you have any questions.
just pulling it up.
Coach as well with everything that we've talked about, and also making it very clear too to speak with you on where you're at with the other agency as well.
The platform that they're working on now. So I'm just kind of expense for the text messaging. I don't have it broken down to what I pay on the platform that they're working on now. So I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah, I roughly use the example of 1,000 messages is roughly $15. We have some clients, the ones that have like 1,000 plus members, might go over 2,000 2,000 messages. But clubs that are in that, I'd say 200 to 500 member mark, they're not even they might surpass the 1,000 mark during the reactivation piece. But once we go into just running the paid ads, very rarely will you go over that 1,000 message mark.
And since we're just speaking about it, you do require a 30-day written notice.
Yes, sir.
An email will be provided, or do you mean like snail mail?
Yeah, you can email's fine. Email, anything that's just in proof of writing. So that can be text message, that could be email, that could be snail mail.
Well, I just want to make sure I have it on the
Clarity, absolutely.
All right, that's set.
And I'm just gonna send you dollars down.
All right, give me one second. I get my wallet here.
Yep, take your time. Scheduling you with Brandon. He's a wonderful coach of ours. And I'm going to be scheduling you with Brandon. He's a wonderful coach of ours that's based out of Ohio. He's got 12 locations that he's been able to scale up to. I think he's a great person to speak with, just to be a soundboard for you, kind of maybe even share some of his experiences where he's been in the situation you're in, and then help, move out of that rut, turn things around.
Okay.
And then off the top of your head, its own email address, like in
But the other way around.
awesome.
And that it's just like a blank email. I have it set up so it's routed back to me.
Okay. So for the high level accounts, we're going to create some user profiles for you. Is it okay if we use that one just as like a general login for you and the team? And then we'll use the admin account?
I'm going to say yes. I don't think that'll be a problem. I know there was some kind of weird setup when I was doing it through level masked under their own name for it. And they're having some kind of weird stuff, but it sounds good.
Okay. Okay, so like I mentioned, I will go ahead. We can get the onboarding scheduled right now, and then the whole steps for that again is we'll get connected to Facebook, get connected to your Google My Business profile, get the list that you currently have. We'll on the conversation with your current agency on what that offboarding looks like, and if you have that information, schedule your start date for the reviews, referrals, and the reactivation, and then we'll also want to select the start date for the Facebook ad campaigns. We will want to collect the remainder whenever it's part one of those campaigns.
Okay, sure.
All right. So this week, it looks like Brandon could get you in at 4 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow.
Unfortunately, I coach tomorrow evening, so Wednesday the same, maybe 4:30 would be good.
You could do a 12 p.m. on Wednesday or 4:30.
It'd be safer 4:30. 12 p.m. I'm not sure. My wife may have something going on, which means I'm on.
All right. Have you got any of the with
No. We're pretty good in terms of vitamins and all that kind of stuff. So we usually do pretty well in that sense. And thankfully, she's only so out and about into the petri dish,
Yeah, right. She's
right, basically.
okay. Well, you expect a few emails from us coming up here. You're going to get a few that, again, one will be a welcome email. The second one's going to be the business assessment form. That one, as long as you have all your information, should only take about 10 to 15 minutes. And we'll review that before you falls call. And like I said, I'm going to hop on with him right now, catch him up to speed on where you all are at, and then welcome to the team. I will be passing the baton over to Brandon, and you're in great hands.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time and your assistance.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Likewise. Take care. Talk to you soon.
All right, you all. So this is a great example again of a cold lead that my cold calling team was able to book and put on my calendar. We were able to then have my cold calling team triage this individual to get some intel information for us. And then it was a 2-call close, meaning we had a short conversation before end of the week, towards the weekend, was able to do a pretty decent discovery and pinpoint what the biggest challenge is with him. And that's the fact that he's got a failing business. We were able to then pitch him the whole process on all of the things we built out, why our service and our offering is going to be the best fit for him and his business. If you have an AI agency or you're thinking about starting one and you want to learn or optimize your offer that you're pitching to your potential clients, feel free to click on the link below and book a call with me or my team. We'd love to sit down and talk with you, learn a little bit more about what you're doing at your agency, and if there's anything we can do over the 10 years that we've been in business to help you all out. If you're wanting to get started, same thing. We'd love to talk with you, see what your vision is, see what we can do to help you out there. Anyways, it's always a pleasure. I hope you guys took something away from this, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.